Sanbonani, Dimatekwana, Liperile, Dumelang, Huyenand. I hope everybody's doing okay. I'm doing fine, thank you. To those who are not doing okay, I pray to God that you find deliverance and healing from whatever you're going through. First of all, let me thank everybody for liking my shows. Thank you for all the comments. Let's keep the debates and the communications going. To those who haven't subscribed, I urge you to please subscribe to my shows, Angels 60 Rand Stories. And to those who have subscribed, please spread the word. Let's spread the word so that as time goes on, I can start having guests coming over to discuss certain issue. Most importantly, I would like for us to one day start having live shows so that we can start interacting. You know, it's nice sometimes when you're talking about a certain issue and then you have somebody to give you further knowledge on what you're talking about, because sometimes when I'm sitting here and I'm discussing a certain topic, it's one-sided, and I only depend on the comments that I receive after sending some posts. So please guys, let's subscribe. Don't stop sending those comments. I will respond wherever. And if there's something that you'd like for me to discuss next time, you are welcome to please let me know. Before I go any further, whatever I'm going to discuss about today, I do not mean to offend anyone. I do not mean to judge. I do not mean to discriminate. I do not mean to not even undermine anyone, because what I'm going to talk about today, it's a very sensitive matter to other people. As much as to me, it's neither here nor there, but to other people, it's very important and they take it very serious. So I would like to apologize before I go any further. My sincere apologies. The reason I'm going to discuss this, it's because I would like for you guys to send comments after the show so that I can learn and so that other people can learn and understand how other people think about certain issues, you know. So yeah. So guys, spring has sprung. It's spring. Some of us are glowing, wearing a hat. We can start going to picnics. We can start having our weddings. We can start having those get-togethers. We can wear our shorts and shades and take out those umbrellas and all that stuff. So yeah, it's been cold for a while now and we really need some heat in our lives. So today I want to discuss weddings. Why weddings are done a certain way. Why is it that it's more ladies that go crazy about weddings more than boys? Maybe I'm wrong. It's just that maybe I haven't had any guy talk much about their weddings and their planning, or is it because ladies are more into preparations, organizing things? We like things done a certain way. I don't know. Because honestly, growing up, I really never had a dream of walking down the aisle. Yes, I'm married, been married for a while now, but no. You know, even when I go shopping and I see wedding dresses and whatever, it doesn't do anything to me. It really doesn't do anything. I don't even imagine myself wearing a wedding gown. I don't even know what type of a wedding gown, whether I'll go Cinderella or the one with the long trail or form-fitting. I don't even know the shapes and what they are called. I know it's a ball gown dress, right? And you have the one that comes to your hips and then it flows, and then you get the straight one. I get those ones. Either way, I've never I don't know why. I really don't know why, and I don't have a problem with weddings though. I go to weddings. I love going to. I'd rather dress up and come to your wedding than you dressing up and coming to my wedding, if you get what I'm saying. So please don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with the white gowns or whatever. So last week I was listening to somebody speak on radio. They were talking about weddings and people doing certain things or going the extra mile just so their weddings can be proper. So Mina, my issue, let me be straightforward with you, is the only time I have a problem with having a white wedding is, and I'm saying this out of experience. I've experienced and I know people who did it. Like I said, I'm not judging. All right. The only concern, yeah, it's not a problem. The only concern I have is when you find people having a white wedding, and usually a white wedding, it's Saturday and Sunday, I get 2 days, and other people will have it from Friday. That's when on Friday usually some people will say they're welcoming umkhwenyana or umakoti, and there's exchange of inyong and whatever. However you guys do it, I know others before do it prior, others after, or others do it immediately after malobolo before the actual wedding. Either way, so some people will have it Saturday and Sunday. Cool, I don't have a problem. And in my understanding, or from what I've noticed or seen, when you have a white wedding, you cannot have a smaller nyana white wedding. You go big. The dress has to be exquisite. Your entourage must look beautiful. Get your stromacy and the bride, but again, groomsmen and the groom, the bride, everything must just coordinate. Everything must be perfect. Still don't have a problem with that. My issue now is why do we, in some cases, find people going all out to have those kinds of ceremonies like your white wedding, and then on Monday, once everybody has gone home, once we've done with the alcohol and the drinking, the eating and the celebrations, we're all gonna go home. You'll remain behind at your in-laws' house. Then you find that you don't have a house to go to, or you still have to go back to the back room that you used to stay at, or you will now have to live with your in-laws. You don't have a house, but you spent so much money on the wedding day to buy the gowns and everything. I might be wrong. Our priorities are not the same, but it's just something that I feel people need to discuss going on, because I understand things were done a certain way from back then, because I know that other people have white weddings because it's tradition in their family. Bare ngwana rona o tswa ka leshira. Yes, I understand o tswa ka leshira, but tomorrow where is she going to sleep? Go back room, whereas the night before they were celebrating or even spent to close to 60, 70, 80,000 on a one-day ceremony. I stand to be corrected. Or do your in-laws contribute to the actual wedding? To say, okay, boy, girl, you guys are deciding to get married. The father side will donate this. The mother side will, the groom side will donate this. The bride side will donate this. We meet you halfway and then you can have your ceremony. Or do we say the groom and the bride, see to finish, have your day the way you want to have it. But then after the actual day, you see where you sleep, or you must just go on as if nothing happened, as if the wedding didn't even happen. Because Monday, Tuesday comes, everybody has gone, the ceremony is done, but why? It is you and the partner. I know what you're thinking. You might be thinking, Angel is jealous. No, I'm not jealous. It's just something that worries me. It concerns me to see people spending such a lot of money on weddings. I mean, a wedding is a one-day event, or like I said, it's a 2-day event. But what happens after? Because in some cases, you find that people spend around 80, 90,000. They don't even have that 18 or 90,000. They took up loans for them to have that special day. That loan is going to take them around 5 or 10 years to pay it off. Meaning, if you didn't have a place to stay in the first place, or no dula back room, or if no dula le matswale, you will still continue doing that. Isn't it better to take up a loan, buy a house, stay there? Then once you have a house and you're stable, then you can start saving towards your white wedding. I'm saying this because I also now know people who after 20 years, who have been married for 20 years and now they have 3 kids or whatever, and then they decide, you know what, I've always wanted to wear a white gown, but unfortunately because I couldn't afford it, now it's time for me to start saving up. And then they decide to have the white wedding of their dream. Because I don't know of any manual or any book or any rule that says somebody needs to have a white wedding before they have kids, or somebody needs to have a white wedding before they move from their home, or somebody needs to wear have a white wedding in their early years. You know, yes, I understand I might be wrong. I know a lot of people won't agree with me. I know a lot of people are not going to agree with me on this one, but it's just something that I feel like we need to discuss it. Because I know one of my friends is from Limpopo, and she told me straight, she was like, Chomi, right? If you get married and you don't have the twang, libo, you know, entourage and whatever down the road, do the shapadi huta and all that, where she comes from, they don't really consider you married, even if you've signed or whatever. But if they've never had that kind of licostra thing, then it doesn't feel right. Even for people who come from there, from that community, if they don't do such a thing, they feel like something is missing. So before you move out with your guy or you start living with your guy, the minute the guy says, I'm marrying you, then you should start preparing for the actual wedding. After. So for me personally, I have kids, and I wouldn't stop them if they come tomorrow and say, Ma, I'm deciding to get married, I'm gonna have a white wedding or whatever. But I think times have changed. Things are expensive. Things are expensive, man. Things are expensive, and I just feel like I would have to sit down with them and be like, hey, Motu, okay, you like this girl or you like this boy. How about you guys focus on stabilizing the relationship? You can go to Hamotle and sign. There's nothing wrong. Home Affairs is always open. They won't turn you back. You can always go there. I can be a witness. Somebody can be a witness. People do that privately and you never get to know about it. It's okay. I don't see anything wrong with it. So you can do that. And then once you are stable financially, you can have your wedding, even if it's after 10 years, as long as you have a place of your own to stay. Because now personally, I wouldn't want my son to get married to this beautiful girl, and then Monday she comes back to my house. Yes, she can stay for that week or 2, nyana, just so that we can welcome her, you know. Ube mnandi, but they must just leave before we start fighting. And that's when they'll say, Matswale this, Makoti that. I don't even want to see such things, you know. So same with my baby girl. If this guy is coming to marry my child tomorrow and they decide they're going to sign and whatever, I fully support it. As for white wedding, yes, I support it fully. I will be there. I will help decorate. I love planning things for other people. I will be there, hands on. But personally, I will never have a guy throw a white wedding, or even if my daughter cries for it, I won't allow it. You get your own place first. Once you are settled in that house and you feel hurry, you have enough funds to have a white wedding. I can even throw in a 50 rand, I don't mind, as long as I know you have a house of your own. Because I think it's very sad. It's very sad for people to have white weddings, guys, and the following day they don't have a place to stay. Unless you are comfortable, like I said, I don't mean to discriminate or offend. Unless you are comfortable staying wherever you are at the moment, unless you are comfortable staying at your in-laws' place, it's an arrangement, you agreed to it, it's okay. Unless you have this arrangement to say, okay, we can help you organize this white wedding, we'll throw a white wedding for you guys, but then within the next 5 years or less, you should have moved out of the house. I know I sound wrong, but I also feel wrong about these things, guys. We need to grow. Things need to change, but as a friend, if you're gonna have a white wedding and 2 years, 3 years down the road, I still have to come and meet you or visit you in your back room. But I was there when you were wearing a white gown. Chomi. Doesn't look nice. Nah. If planning staying at your in-laws' house, it's even much better. It's much better. But I know people who stay in the back rooms. I know. I just wonder, what is the thinking, or what is the plan? Oh, what was the rush? What was the rush for white wedding then? What was the rush? Why did you rush to have the wedding, the white wedding? Because like I said, you can always go to Amotle. Whether you had a white wedding or you just went to Amotle and signed, I'm not any difference. You married. If you were to go there and ask, is Angel married or whatever, they'll say she's married. I get it. I know what you're thinking, Wena. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Amara Angel, you are not fair. Yes, I'm not fair. Life is not fair. And I'm not saying I'm right. Hence, I said, after this video, you can send me comments. We can start communicating. We can teach each other. Because I know people do things differently. Or maybe now I feel the way I feel because growing up, Ahashu, I don't remember going to weddings. I only have few cousins wait out the white weddings. Yes, I actually do have cousins who did the white weddings. But yeah, or maybe I'm the one with the problem. Maybe I need some psychological dieting, yeah. Somebody needs to open my mind and help me see and understand the idea of having, like I said, I will go back to my first point. I do not mean to offend. And again, I understand there's families that will be like, but whilst mother-in-law is saying, lishira leo lo le baya kae, lo dula kae back room, or even if it's hired, whatever gifts they received, go room. There's nothing wrong with staying in a room, back room. There is nothing wrong. As long as you have a space, you are able to pay for it, even if you go higher, or even if you're not paying for it, whatever the arrangement, it's okay. Now my point here is, guys, let's learn to save up for assets. Let's learn to save up for matlu. Once you've settled down, then we can have that wedding. We can have, there's no problem. Our expiry date, like I said, I'm 40 plus. I never wore a white gown. If I decide to wear it in my 50s, Who's going to stop me? No one. But remember, Home Affairs won't say angel signed over 50. Angel signed whenever. Everybody else can still do that. Everybody can still do that. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing. Maybe, even in some cases, I feel like it's peer pressure, guys. It's peer pressure. Just because all of my friends had this white wedding, it's a white wedding, flamboyant and whatever. Remember, Chomi, it's a 2-day event. After 2 days of celebrates, we're focusing on something else. We're focusing on something else. We've been to weddings, beautiful weddings and whatever, but do I even think about it? And I'm happy for those people who did that. I'm happy. I'm not gonna be jealous just because somebody over a white wedding and whatever. No, and I'm not judging. Everybody has their views. I just feel like things need to change here and there. Our generation needs to do better for our kids, so that we don't let our kids suffer or struggle. I mean, how sad it is for you to not have a place of your own, and you're going through your wedding album and you're showing your kids, oh, this is the day when you, and like I'll be telling my son, this is me and your dad on our wedding day and whatever. Maybe that child will be scared to ask to say, Papa, but why didn't you, or Mama, why didn't you save up that money to buy us a house? We're still staying at Granny's house. Or we're staying at Das Banbani's back door. Guys, let's save up. Let's save up. Or even if you don't save up, okay, I don't know. I just wish for our kids to do better. I just wish the best for the future, for our kids, so that if we don't make this mistake now, or if we start talking about such matters with our kids today, like for instance, I have a son and 2 daughters. If I don't discuss such things with my son as young as he is, and then once he wants to get married and I think if he can go back, or whoever he's sending them to negotiate lobola for him, if he goes there and say, Matswale, I understand but would you prefer for your daughter after now? Do you want your daughter, once I've paid lobola, to go stay with my mom? I don't think they'll agree to that. I don't think they'll agree. I think that sometimes as parents, we put our feelings first, or we want to do things the way they were done some time back, just because my aunt's child did this, or my sister's child, my niece or nephew got married a certain way, my kids also need to do things that way. It doesn't have to be like that, guys. Let us grow. As we grow in age, let us also evolve in the way we do things, not just for us, but for our kids. Like I said, personally, I'm not going to allow it. So she must just forget. If she wants to get married and she wants a white wedding, I don't mind helping. I'll throw in a 50 rand, I don't mind. But she needs to make sure that she has a place to stay. She needs to make sure that she is stable. She needs to make sure that the gifts it's actually tolang, the gifts it's not I have pots in my house. Whatever pots and whatever that she's going to get as a gift, it must go to her place. Even if they don't have it at that point, yes, we can stay with them, but for a certain period. They must actually start looking for a place to stay whilst they're organizing a wedding. And the reason I'm saying this, it's because one of the reasons why we have a breakdown in marriages and whatever, or we have marriages that don't last, it's because after a white wedding, the makoti still needs to go back to the back room. After the white wedding, the makoti needs to still go back to her in-laws' house and stay with them, and they start to have quarrels, they fight. People fight. Bomakoti, nabo squeezer, they fight because they are in each other's faces every day. But if we don't see each other every day, we love each other, the day we meet, I cannot imagine staying with my in-laws for the whole month or for the whole year. I cannot. I love them to bits. They know it, but I cannot. I need my space. So why would I want to put my children through that? And then once they start fighting and whatever, whenever, the guy will be like, no, you don't like my mother. And the girl will be like, no, when you don't like my mother, hear this and hear that. And then they get third party, fourth party. How do you think that marriage is going to last? It's not going to last. But if they have a place of their own to stay, where they learn each other, where they learn to tolerate and accommodate each other's differences without mazwale and squeeze and whatever meddling in. Because a wedding is not just a wedding for those 2 days. The minute you get married or you have that big day, whatever, you are inviting your in-laws in your marriage. But it's nice to invite them from a distance to say, you can come to my wedding and whatever. But after Monday, you go 13, Lona, you go 5. We will visit each other whenever we can. But anyway, that's my 2 cents to this discussion. This is how I feel. Like I said, guys, I do not mean no harm. I mean no harm. People do things differently. I understand. I just want the next generation to have things easy. To have things easy in life. And maybe this will also help in decreasing this rate of divorce and all that stuff, you know. I love you so much, guys. I love you so much. Let's keep discussing this. Send your comments. Yeah, let's keep talking. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the comments. I really take every comment into consideration. Like I always say, love yourself, take care of yourself, put yourself first. It's about you and nobody else. Thank you. Bye.